Getting pulled over can sometimes be a start to a very bad day, but for some, it can ruin your life. A simple civil infraction can set families back for years. Police officers in America need access to a national database that informs them of the income of someone they have pulled over so they can base a traffic violation on their ability to pay. When I was 20 years old, I received a ticket that ended in me losing my license. That one interaction with police changed the course of mine and my son's life. Everyone is not created equal in America. The laws on traffic violations are unjust. If that ticket had been 1 week of paychecks for everyone, maybe the more financially secure cars I was following on the highway that day would have kept the pace on the highway slower, and I wouldn't have zoned out following them. $250 for somebody that makes $3,000 a week, that's nothing. We need to allow our officers to see everyone's income immediately in a database in their vehicle at all traffic stops. Today I want to discuss that, how the current system works, and the problems this causes for so many people and how we can fix it. Traffic violations set low-income families behind for months. They keep they keep many people in poverty and could potentially have people serve jail time, putting them behind even more. Low-income families don't need anything else to pay. When you already have insufficient vehicle and a job that doesn't pay enough to afford to live, getting a traffic ticket can potentially ruin your life. When I was 20 years old, I was a single mother. I was recently divorced. I got out of an abusive marriage and not a second too soon. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I worked rotating shifts at a hotel for my home. One morning, after working the night before, I was pulled over and was too tired to notice I was speeding. This wasn't the first time I'd been pulled over in this vehicle. I knew the routine. I knew there was no talking my way out of it. As soon as that officer got to the window, I realized I didn't put my safety belt on. So that I knew that was going to be another ticket. I was pulled over 2 weeks prior to this because my car is just a piece of junk, and they ticketed me for having faulty taillight, a nice little law that allows anyone to be pulled over. So a nosy officer can sniff around and search for whatever they want. I was given the ticket, and it was worth $250 between the seatbelt ticket and the speeding ticket. I turned my music up even louder when I pulled off to drown out the fact that this was going to set me way behind. I didn't make $250 in an entire week. When I got my ticket, I had no way to pay it. I was already struggling to keep my child fed and to keep the lights on. There was no way I could just pay a $250 ticket. The ticket was in a different county, so I just put it in the back of my head and forgot about it. Months went by, and I received a letter that my license was suspended for failure to pay the ticket, or failure to pay the ticket. And I was due in court in a week for a show cause hearing to explain why I hadn't paid it yet. So now I'm driving illegally to and from work because, of course, I have to provide for my child. But now I'm at risk for getting my car impounded as well. I also have to take off work to go to court and pay someone to drive me there because I'm not going to drive with a suspended license. Now, if these tickets had been a realistic amount that I could actually afford to pay, I wouldn't have had to go through all this trouble. I would have got my license revoked. I wouldn't have had to go to the other county to get the ticket and get a payment plan. I would have immediately paid the tickets on my next paycheck and had everything taken care of. A lot of things could have been different. There is evidence that this works in different countries. In Finland, according to The Atlantic, a man was pulled over for speeding and he got a $100,000 fine roughly. In Finland, traffic tickets and small fines and misdemeanors are based on the perpetrator's income. The officer was able to look up his income from his police vehicle and cite the man for speeding right then and there, according to The Atlantic. This would possibly deter everyone from breaking minor laws. If they know they're going to be inconvenienced to that extent, it will cause more people to really focus on what's going on around them. The threat of an actual financial burden would more than likely make someone think twice about breaking minor laws. I think I think I've taken up enough of your time now. If we could just allow the police to access public records of income, we could change the laws in major ways. Changing these laws would prevent already low-income people from being strained any further. We're not all created equal here, with the major differences in income. And change doesn't come easy, but I truly believe that we could help so many families if we were to change ticket amounts to a more appropriate cost. We need to work together to make this country work. There's so much divide right now and so many financial strains for so many families between gas and food prices. Every little bit is going to help these families.